All right, so this is your video for body paragraph 1. So body paragraph 1 has two topics. The first half of the paragraph will be about the sniper's time, and then the second half of the paragraph will be about the place in the story. So this paragraph is almost identical to the ones you wrote on your character essay, where you have two topics and then you split it up with an internal link. So the first thing you're going to have in this paragraph is a topic sentence. So you need to introduce the topic of this paragraph, and if you would like to use the sentence I've provided here, feel free. So mine says, right, so I'm just introducing time and place. So mine says, the Irish Civil War is described by the time and place in the short story, The Sniper. My topic sentence is pretty basic. I've introduced time and place. There's nothing special. If you want to use mine, go for it, but I highly recommend trying to write your own. I'm just trying to offer my support as we move through this first trimester and this new style of writing. After that, you'll have a setup sentence just like on the last essay. So now you need to basically tell your reader time is what we're talking about first here. So you need to introduce the first half of the paragraph. So you could say something like, when the story takes place is important because blank, or something about the time in the short story, The Sniper, changes throughout, or just whatever you want to say, but just something about time. Don't give me details yet about what time the story does take place, but just introduce that time is the first topic, and make sure you're not saying anything like, the first half of this paragraph will be about time. That is way too basic. We don't want to announce things like that. Like, we never want to use language like the first part of this paragraph or that type of thing. Then comes the easy part. So you're going to go back to your chart. Remember, we did our chart last week. And you are going to choose two data points. So choose two of the things you put in the time section and combine those two things into one sentence. Provide lots of details. Talk about it being dark. Tell me the year. Tell me the month, the season. Talk about the moon. Whatever you want to do. Just combine two data points of time into one sentence. Then a transition. So you could say also. You could say later in the story. You could say in addition, whatever you want for some sort of transition word or phrase, and then go back to the chart and find two more things. So two more details about time in the story, and do that same thing. Combine two more data points into one sentence for time. Then you will have your internal link. So that is where you transition from time to place. It's sort of like your halfway point, your halftime, if you will, in your essay, where you transition your reader from time, the topic you just covered, to place, the topic you are about to cover. I've started this sentence for you if you'd like to use it. So it says, in addition to time, and then use this second half to introduce place, and how place is also important in describing or depicting or explaining the Irish Civil War. Then you'll do that same thing. Go back to that chart, find two of the details you put in your chart for place and combine them into one sentence. Maybe talk about the city we're in, the country we're in, talk about what's around. There's lots of different bridges and streets and rivers and businesses, but give me two details about place here in one sentence. Then another transition. Try to use a different transition than you used previously. So again, maybe you'll do later in the story, or next, or in addition, or also, or furthermore, or adding to that, like whatever you want to say for your transition. And then two more details about place. Go back to that chart, find the other two that you did not use, combine them into a sentence with specific details. Give me the names of the streets, the name of the city, the names of the businesses around, etc. And put that into one sentence, and then your finishing line. Your finishing line, just summarize this paragraph. So overall, what are the big ideas from time and place, and did anything change? So you could talk about changes, especially in the time, right? Because the beginning of the story starts at twilight when it's turning to night, and by the end of the story, it's starting to be daytime. It's starting to be early morning. Or you could talk about the place changing because our sniper leaves the rooftop and goes down to the ground or whatnot. But summarize this paragraph and any changes that occur, maybe one sentence, maybe two sentences here, but that is your first body paragraph on setting, and specifically time and place.